Hello princesses! Today I'm going to be doing a get ready with me featuring products from Eyeliner. Eyeliner reached out and wanted to send out a little box of products, either a makeup box or a skincare box. The skincare box did have quite a few fermented ingredients in it, so I said no to the skincare and yes to the makeup. So I was really excited to try out some products that I have never tried before. I have tried a lot of products, so it's kind of hard to get everything new for me, but I did manage to try everything new today, and a brand that is new to me that I'm going to be featuring today is the McQueen brand. So I have a little eyeshadow here and then a eye pencil too, which I was really excited to try. So if you'd like to see how I achieve this look, then please just keep watching. Okay, so I've had this mask on for I would say 20 minutes now. It is the Misha, I don't even think I can pronounce that name even if I try and do it really slowly. This mask, it's still pretty moist, damp. There's still a lot of essence on it, but I do really want to get on with my day. I can't stay here forever, but if you want something that is like literally dripping in essence, this is very good for that. There is still a bunch of the essence left in the package as well, and so if I end up liking this, I will probably use that tonight after I take my makeup off for the day. So I'm just going to wait for this to absorb into the skin. It could take some time because there is quite a lot of it, so I'll be back in a bit. Alright, so it's been a few minutes, enough to get it to sink into my skin a fair amount. My skin definitely looks a little bit more moisturized, it looks slightly brighter, and the red patches on my skin around here where I have some flaws have definitely calmed down a little bit. It was so far away that you couldn't see anything of what I was just describing, so here's how my skin is looking at the moment. I'm going to put a little bit of footage of before that I took for this, which you will see in a few weeks as well, that review. But yeah, my skin looks nice. It definitely feels very moisturized. I feel like the essence hasn't fully absorbed yet, so I still feel like it's on the skin, which is helping it look nice and moisturized, but it definitely looks a bit plumper, which is nice. I had enough time to look up some of the things about this. This is a Misha mask that is that word made for sensitive and delicate skin because of external stimulus. So there appears to be a whole bunch of these solution sheet masks by Misha. There are Moisture Barrier, Peeling, AC Care, the Rescuer, which I think is supposed to be Rescue, the one that I used, Calming, Hydra, Nutrition, and Whitening. So I got the one for delicate skin, which I don't normally have, but because I have been using a fully different skincare line, it hasn't gone well. Not great. It's definitely something that I wanted to use today, and it is sent by Eyeliner as well, so I thought it would be an appropriate way to start the video. The next thing I'm going to use is a tone-up cream. Okay, so tone-up creams are supposed to give a lightening effect or a white cast. I don't need this because I am fairly light already. I have, in general, at the moment, a nice even tan line. However, I have used tone-up creams in the past, not on my face generally, but on random bits of my skin, like on my arms, sometimes where I get like a tan line here. You can still see actually a little bit of a tan line there. This summer I actually got a really nice tan here. It was like 3 or 4 shades darker than my skin. It has faded out because I take care of the patches of skin that have uneven tan lines. I have a whole video about fading out unwanted tan lines, and I mean, it's super old now. I don't even know what I talk about in it. I'd have to revisit it. But tone-up creams are definitely a product I would use in that way. However, today I am going to try and use a bit of it on my face. I'm going to try and do half of my face with the tone-up cream. I have not used it because, like I said, I don't particularly need tone-up creams, and I don't like the effect that they have on my face because I just literally don't need them. Like, I don't want my face to appear lighter than the rest of my body because it is the same color as the rest of my body at the moment, which is lovely because, you know, previously it has not been the same color as the rest of my body. It has been, my face used to be a lot more tan than like my neck and my shoulders and things like that, because I didn't used to wear sunscreen that much. So that's definitely changed. That's the thing in the past, and no, I don't need products like this. However, there are a lot of us out there that cannot stay inside all the time and have a harder time with sun care and do get those problems. So this is a good product for you, I would say. So far, it has a very overwhelming scent of rose. It definitely has a tone-up effect. You can see that my skin looks brighter, but surprisingly, it doesn't look like that ghostly I've got a terrible sunscreen on application look. I have used a sheerer amount, pretty much like the same amount that I would use as a regular facial cream. So I actually like this. I'm wildly surprised. I really like the way that this looks. It's a little bit brighter, but it's not, you know, it does say intensive tone up effect, and I was expecting it to be an intense tone up effect, but it's not. You know, it's quite nice actually. So I was super worried about it and didn't want to use it because I didn't want to look like a ghost during the rest of the week. But I might actually incorporate this into my routine and see if it works well, to be honest. If you are new and you're wondering what this is and why I don't use a tone-up cream on that normally, that is a birthmark. It is a totally different colour to the rest of my body. There is nothing I can do about it short of surgically having it removed, in which case you know, my parents and I went through this when I was a child because of intense bullying. They would put a breast implant, like a saline basically implant, underneath my skin here and stretch the skin out. When I have enough skin, or you know, the quality of skin is good, they would take the implant out, cut, pull, sew. And surprisingly, my parents said no. So, unsurprisingly, I mean, didn't particularly want to go through life with, I mean, it would only be for like a few weeks or a month or whatever, I don't know. But it is not something that is going to be covered up with a tone-up cream. It is a fully different colour. It is a Cafe au lait birthmark. I have tried laser to have it removed also when I was younger. That worked for maybe like approximately a few days to a week, and then it came back. So my days of trying to get rid of it are pretty much gone. I don't really care, but I just don't want stupid questions because I'm a sensitive little sausage and they still kind of hurt my feelings when people are like, she's a fully different race and she's covering up the whole rest of her body, but she missed this spot on her face. No. So far, I really like this tone-up cream. I mean, I am wearing a high neck, but from what you can see, it is brighter, but not to the point where it looks, you know, incorrect or wrong or anything like that. So I might end up holding on to that actually. I was totally ready to be like, nah. The next product I'm going to be using is one that I bought myself. It is a foundation from VDL. This is the Perfecting Last Foundation. I have been really liking this. However, I have found there are times where the application is not the nicest. And I find that it is generally like midway through the day. So when my skin is a little bit more dry, it was especially bad when I was using that Uja Niacin whitening line. But I find that it does not work well on drier skin. It does work really nicely when my skin is nice and moisturized. So pretty much any time at the beginning of the day. I don't think it looks any more dry throughout the day. But it's, yeah, so sometimes I will not put on makeup in the morning because I like to go for a run in the middle of the day because it is winter still in New Zealand, by the way. I'm not just a psycho who wants to run in the middle of summer during the middle of the day. I like to do my teaching in the morning. I would go to school in the morning normally, and then I would come home, go for a run, and then I might put on some makeup and do some filming stuff for the afternoon before my afternoon set of lessons. So that is why I would have a more unique experience with putting makeup on halfway through the day, I guess. Because obviously if I'm going to go for a run, I am not going to be wearing makeup when I do that because I will sweat it off and it will look disgusting anyway afterwards. So not the way to go. So that very specific thing I have found is not so good. But that's about it. Otherwise it's a really nice foundation, to be honest. It's a really good colour. I'm having some troubles with it, like right this second, applying evenly. I have a sneaky suspicion it's because I didn't really let the products beforehand dry down properly. Normally I would need like a bit of time before I would put the makeup on. So normally, okay, so if we're going through my routine, sorry, this is my mirror by the way, I'm trying to get this to look nice. My routine normally, if I was putting this on in the morning, I would wake up and I would have some breakfast and then I would go and do my skincare. Then I would go and get dressed, which would take somewhere between like, what, 10 minutes or something like that. And then I would go and do my makeup. in this 10-minute time, this gives my products that I'm putting on for my skin, my skincare, it gives them enough time to soak in, do whatever they need to do, and then when I put the makeup on over the top afterwards, there is no disturbance. I would say, right now, I did not leave nearly enough time for those products to sink in properly, and then tried to slap a foundation over the top, and it's pretty much just saying, I don't think so. There are ways around this. Basically what I'm doing is I'm using the other side of the cushion puff, which has got less product on it, and I'm just kind of dabbing it and making sure that there's not too much product. This is harder around some certain spaces, like around the nose. That's what I'm trying to get at the moment, around the mouth, and around the hairline I find as well. This is where the product tends to sort of clump. I am not going to cover up these pimples because I can't be bothered. And they're not that bad, so I'm not going to put extra product on them because then I'm going to be using my Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder, which I absolutely love. I find that this VDR foundation actually looks a lot better when you set it with powder. I don't know why. It just looks like smooth, soft and velvety. I don't like the look of this foundation as much without the powder. Normally I would probably like most foundations more with the powder than without. No, the other way. I like more of the foundations that I try without powder than with powder. I don't normally see such a significant difference in the way that they look, but I mean, to me it definitely looks different. Like, this looks smooth and velvety, and this looks very textured and uneven. Smooth and velvety. Textured. So not 100% sure on that. But it's a pretty easy step, and it's a step that I do every day anyway. Like, I always powder my skin, otherwise I find that my hair sticks to it and it just looks atrocious. I also get oily through the T-zone. And this helps to keep that oil under control also. So it doesn't make a difference that it looks better with the powder. However, if you are someone who always what is with me today? If you are someone who never powders their skin and doesn't want to start, it may not be a foundation that I recommend to you because it doesn't look as good without the powder as it does with. Today I'm going to be doing my eyebrows a little bit different because I can. I'm going to be using my Etude House Tint My Full Tip Brow. I have mine in the shade number 4 Grey Brown, and I'm going to use this right at the front of the eyebrow. And I'm going to kind of lay it sideways like this and going upwards, and I'm just going to make little strokes going upwards at the head of the brow. Just like that. So you can see that the front of the brow is, you probably can't see anything still. So now we can see a little more that the front of the eyebrow is filled in really subtly. Then I'm going to be using the Innisfree 2-Tone Brow Kit, which is just my normal brow thing, to fill in with a powder brush from Zoeva. This is the 322 Brow Line. Fill in the rest of the eyebrow. So I'm just going to go over like that with little small strokes, filling in any gaps underneath. Oh, that like liner foundation around the hairline is atrocious. But I have my fringe tucked underneath this kitty cat headband, and I am going to untuck the fringe afterwards, and you'd never know. So it's a blessing in disguise, really. Alright, and that is the brows all done. So today I'm going to be using 2 eye products that are new. The first one is from McQueen, New York. This is a little Jewel Prism Jelly Balm Shadow. I have mine in the shade number 1, which is called Gold Champagne. There are only 3 shades in total. There's this really pretty gold one, and then there is a really cute pink rose, and an interesting one that's called Orange Garnet. If you guys would like a review of these, I would be quite happy to buy the other 2, which I think they're that expensive. They're about $8 US, and do a review on the colours for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my finger to apply this to my eyelid. You can use a brush if you want. I found that they had a really similar application, so it was fine if I used either. I just can't be bothered cleaning my brush right now. They're not like that dirty, but I've been using the Innisfree eyebrow kit, which is all purples. So they're not filthy, but they are very purpley, so trying not to get all of the colours compromised in a way. So I'm just going to use my finger to do it because it's just as easy. I'm doing quite a broad application of it, so I'm like kind of shearing it out almost all the way up to the eyebrow, there is a bit of dry skin right there, which is gross. And then I'm going back in and applying a bit more right on the center there. And so that is how it looks. It is super easy, super quick, super pretty, and I just really like how it looks. It's like a really beautiful shimmer. And then I'm going to do exactly the same thing with the other eye, but I'm not going to talk and cut it out or speed it up. Then I'm going to be using a gel eyeliner, which I pretty much never do. So this is from McQueen as well. This is the McQueen New York Waterproof Pencil Gel Liner. And I have mine in the shade number 3, which is 1, 2, 3. French Latte. There are 5 shades I think in total. This is really nice. I really don't use gel pencils, but I used to. So I'm going to be doing a kind of eye look or eye shape with this pencil. That is really like something that I used to do all of the time, which is going to be a like half of a line on the top and a half of a line on the bottom, and then I'm going to kind of smudge it out. So this works really well. Oh no, I don't know if I can talk while I do this. Well, let me do one eye, hold on. I realized that I had to like duck underneath to do the bottom eyeliner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to smudge it out with a Q-tip like this. Et voila! Here is what my eyes kind of used to look like a few years ago when I used to do a little bit of a different eyeliner look. I'm going to do the other side, and I think I might have a look through my collection and find something bright for the inner corner as well. There we go. So I used a little bit of this brighter shadow here, which has kind of got like purple tones to it, which doesn't really suit the look, but that's okay. So this eyeliner pencil, there are 4 other shades. There are 5 in total, I do believe. Yes, and they are actually really nice. I have not really tried much from McQueen, but I do see a lot of their stuff, especially they had like I think a flower shaped blush maybe that was really cute. But I'm really impressed by how beautifully soft this is, but not smudgy. So it smudges nicely in a way that that you want it to smudge. Like I can smudge it up with a Q-tip, but when you're going about your day, it doesn't start to run or smudge like that. If you touch it, it will move, so don't do that. But otherwise, it is like the perfect little gel liner in pretty much every way. Plus the color is really pretty. So next, I'm going to do a little bit of tight lining with a NARS pencil that I got for free from a beauty loop thing. This is the High Pigment Longwear Eyeliner in black, I guess. And I already need to sharpen it. I've used it about once. Great. So I'm going to do the top line. Which I'm super out of practice doing. That worked a little bit, but I got a little bit too much of it on the actual waterline. So when I blink, I'm going to get eyeliner on the lower lash line as well, but that's okay. Let's do the other line. This pencil is super soft. If you want something that's like really soft, it's high pigmented, absolutely. It's a great pencil. Got a little bit on my actual eyelid just then. The only problem with this, I think, is that it is so smudgy. It just kind of gets everywhere, and you use a lot of it. Then I'm going to curl my lashes using my Shu Uemura eyelash curler and use my mascara at the moment, which is the Hamish Dalism Mascara. Lighting has gone away, which is really sad, but it's okay. So this is how the eyes are looking at the moment. It's super simple and super not like how I would normally do them, but it is, yeah, very reminiscent of how I used to do my eyes back when I was first started vlogging. So for blush, I'm going to go for a more neutral one. I'm going to use something from the Holika Holika Pearly Flash collection because I'm going to be talking about it today anyway. And I'm going to use the number 1, which is called Peach Way. And this is a really pretty like soft peach color. I'm going to use the cushion puff provided because I'm still trying to make them work for me. They work. They kind of work. And I'm just going to pat like this. This color is really gosh, what's the word? Subtle. Well done. It's, yeah, it's just super light. I really enjoy that, but I don't quite like how much sparkle there is. So I feel like it's just a little bit much for me in terms of like how much glitter is in there. But if you're looking for something that's really sheer and like youthful and sparkly, these are super good for that. So I've piled a little bit more on than I normally would. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a blush brush, and I'm just going to brush brush around the edges so that it melts in a little bit better. Like that. See how much nicer that looks? It's like the smallest thing. I find that with the, oh man, around my mouth looks awful. I find that with the blushes, if you apply them with the puff included, it does have the best glitter deposit. If you want less glitter, you can just use brush, but if you're buying them, you're probably wanting them for the glitter because that's what they're about. But it is hard to blend it right out seamlessly, so I think that the blush brush is very helpful. Last thing I'm going to be using is a Hamish Velvet Lip Tint. I have mine in the shade number 5, which is called Dry Rose, and I really like this one as well, so this is definitely a nice surprise, because when I looked at it I was kind of like, I don't like it, I don't like it very much. But when you share it out, my favourite thing to do, you get this beautiful like dried rose look, which I love. So this is how it looks like as a very sheer application. I definitely like this a lot more because I think that it looks like a much prettier pink, in my opinion, for my own skin tone. When it is fully applied, it is a lot darker. But I love the feeling and the sensation of this on the lips. It is really velvety and smooth, but it dries down really nicely, so it doesn't feel sticky or anything like that. It also, it also doesn't make the wrinkles on my lips look worse than they are. They're still apparent because they are still there. They don't go away, but that doesn't make them look any worse. So that is it for the makeup. I'm going to go fix my hair and I will be right back. So this is the final look. I really enjoyed trying out some of these products. Please let me know if you would like to see more of them. In particular, I am, of course, very interested in the McQueen shadows as well as the Hamish lip tints. I think that those two are really interesting products and I really enjoyed trying those colours out, so I'd be more interested in trying the whole range as well. But definitely let me know what you guys would like to see. Thank you so much to Stylerunner for sending these products over for review. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next one. Bye!